Hello and welcome to La La Land on LA Talk Live. I'm Brett Chapin, and that is guest co-host Davis Gaines.
How are you, Brett? Good morning.
Hey,
Good afternoon.
Good morning, Davis. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for asking me.
Yeah.
Where's Dorothy today?
You know, Dorothy is actually at a wedding for our friend Candace. So congratulations to Candace and Scott, by the way.
Congrats, Candace. Is she going to call in? I heard that if she was drunk enough on the champagne, she would actually call in today.
I hope so. I really hope she does. I know that she's been doing the bachelorette party and the wedding rehearsal and everything. She's been pretty busy this weekend, so she got the week off.
Hangover part 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Part 4.
Part 12 for her. But you were kind enough to fill in for her. So
of course,
thank you so
anytime.
much.
Call me anytime.
Yes.
This is fun.
Well, don't say that because Dorothy might lose her job. So, careful. But
don't worry, Dorothy.
No, we love you, Dorothy. We'll see you next week. So today on La La Land, we have joining us Michael Smith and Brett McMahon of a little show that I like to call Rent at Beyond the Stage Productions. BeyondTheStageProductions.com for information on that. It is opening May 31st and running to June 2nd at the Founders Center. And I am a part of that show. I'm very happy to be a part of it and very proud. And we've been working really, really hard. And our audience has been hearing me talk nonstop about it every week. And
I'm kind of sick of it myself.
I'm sure.
Just kidding.
Yeah. And it's finally happening.
What are you
It's
playing in
here.
that show, Brett?
I'm playing Steve, and I'm a member of the ensemble, and I'm also a cop. I'm wearing a lot of different hats. So,
Multi-talented.
Yeah. It's going to be a great production.
And how big a cast is that?
What are we at? Like maybe 30, somewhere around there. 25,
Nice.
30. Pretty good size cast. We've got our 8 leads, and a couple of them are a double cast, and then we have about 15, 20 ensemble members.
You mean so different performances, different people will play some of the roles?
Yes.
Nice.
Exactly. I think 3 of the roles are double cast, and they're getting 2 performances each.
Cool.
So it's a pretty limited run, 4 performances. So make sure you check it out and listen to the information that we have for you today. Very excited to be talking to both of them. But before we get to them, I wanted to take a minute to just send our condolences and our good thoughts to the family of Lee Melville.
And his huge circle of friends, too.
And his huge circle of friends, yes. For those that don't know, Lee Melville was a pioneer in Los Angeles theater. He started LA Stage Magazine, and he was very well liked and well respected, and he passed away just a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was reading that he was like one of the first Ovation voter. He was on the first round of the Ovation Awards, and he was a pioneer in that arena as well.
Definitely. And just from what I heard, I never got a chance to meet him, but just a really nice guy.
Good writer.
Yes.
Tough critic. He was good.
He has a great quote that I read in an LA Times article. He said, people ask me how I can go to theater 4 and 5 times a week, and I ask them how they can watch television 4 and 5 times a week. You know,
right?
It just makes a lot of sense. So our thoughts are with Lee Melville and his family and friends.
Yep, definitely.
And I wanted to also talk about, we're doing something for the Fringe Festival called the Fringe 4, where we're taking 4 shows over the 2 weeks of the Fringe, so 8 shows total, and Dorothy and I are just going to be talking about them.
Nice.
And highlighting them on the show each week. So I wanted to put a message out to anybody that has a show at the Fringe Festival to go ahead and email us at lalalandtalk@gmail.com if you have a show that you would like us to talk about. There's only 8 spots, and I think we only have a couple left. So send us an email a little bit about your show. Let us know what a description of it, what you have going on with it. And until we fill up, we'll basically put you in our Fringe 4 segment. Should be a lot of fun.
Now, when is the Fringe Festival? When does it happen?
Fringe Festival is in late June. I do not remember the exact dates, but it's sometime in late June. They're having a week of previews and then 2 weeks of the Fringe Festival. And for those that don't know, the Hollywood Fringe Festival is a theater festival for Los Angeles theater where they have a lot of, I think it's like 100 shows or more that they do. And over a 2-week period, it's a great theater event. It's a great opportunity for networking, and it's a lot of fun. So make sure you find information about that Google Fringe Festival in Hollywood. You can find all your information on that. What else? We have a segment on La La Land called Theater Minute where we talk about different local shows that are going on in Los Angeles theater. If anybody would like to be a part of that, make sure you email us, lalalandtalk@gmail.com. Tell us about your show, and we will talk about you in our Theater Minute. We do it every week, and it's free advertising, guys, so you can't really go wrong. And we already have a caller.
Get out.
Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Are you on a 7-second delay? Okay, they hung up.
Oh, call back, please.
Call back, please. And if
What's
anybody
that number,
else,
Brett?
Well, that would be 323-247-7443. 323-247-7443. And you can also find us on Facebook at La La Land Talk and Twitter at La La Land Talk as well.
Nice.
If you have any questions for Davis, Brett, or Michael, producers of Rent, make sure you call now. Do you have any shows in the local Los Angeles scene that you want to talk about, or your own personal shows?
I just did a really great concert production of Mac and Mabel this past Monday at the at Musical Theater West down in Long Beach, and it was concert reading. We had 25 hours of rehearsal, so it was a kind of a quickie, but to hear that score, that Jerry Herman score live with a humongous orchestra was really thrilling. No one does that show very often, obviously, and I've never heard it live, so it was really a treat to hear that stuff.
Fantastic.
It was amazing. And I saw the Royale recently at the Kirk Douglas Theater. Fantastic.
It's the boxing one, right?
The boxing show. My buddy David St. Louis is playing the lead, and it's based on a true story and really good performances. And you should go see that. And I saw night before last the production of the parade down at 3D Theatricals in Fullerton.
Yes.
And my good buddy Jeff Scalron, who was in Silence the musical with me, is playing Leo Frank, the lead, and he's just spectacular. And it only runs through this weekend, but it's worth seeing. His performance is great, and a lot of great performances in it as well.
I've heard great things about that show.
Yeah,
and great things about 3D Theatricals.
Yeah, they do great work.
David Lamar.
Excellent. And and one of our cast members from Rent, David Lamar, is in Parade as well.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So-
Very talented cast, and
3D
it's nice because I did the Parade at the Taper, the Don Moore Warehouse version, and this is they use the same orchestrations, but they have a cast of like 36. We had like probably 17 in our cast because we all played different parts. But
Did you play Leo Frank?
no, that was T.R. Knight.
Oh, okay.
Play Leo.
Who did you play?
I played a plethora of other characters. I played the judge, the old soldier, and a bunch of other little things. And everybody did the same thing. Everybody just switched around, except for TR and the girl that played his wife. But everybody else played multiple roles. It's very fun.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that show. Anything by Jason Robert Brown, I'll go see.
The score is terrific. And the one in Fullerton, they all sing beautifully. It's wonderful. It's great.
And there's I've heard such great things about 3D Theatricals. They've really come up very fast in the LA theater scene. They're very well known. And we were lucky enough to have the scenic designer from Parade, Tom Butterwitz, come in and talk to our cast. He was a good friend of Jonathan Larson's, who's the
wonderful.
writer of Rent.
Mm-hmm.
And he came in and told us a couple stories, and it was great to talk to him as well. So just to go back for a second to Mac and Mabel, how do you do a show with 25 hours of rehearsal? That's pretty intense.
It was intense, but we were on book. Everybody held the scripts, but it was a semi-stage. But the orchestra was on stage, and the cast was pretty much sitting in front of the orchestra. And then it was Larry Carpenter directed. Larry Carpenter directs General Hospital right now, but I worked with him back in New York years ago, production of Company. But terrific, and John McDaniel, who was Rosie O'Donnell's musical director all those years.
On the Rosie
her
show?
He was our musical director, and he conducted the orchestra. And it was just a fast and furious thing. You're on, and you do it. And
Yeah, I guess when
was
you're
scary.
thrown into it,
It was
like
scary,
that,
but fun.
Yeah, you got no choice. You just got to do it. On goes the show.
Yep.
And you have something going on at Laguna Playhouse coming up very soon.
This summer. Well, first of all, next week, anybody that's watching from Orlando, I'll be in Orlando singing with the Orlando Philharmonic. and a very interesting show at the Full Sail University in Winter Park. And
Nice.
then all summer I'll be in Laguna Beach at the Laguna Playhouse doing I Do, and with the terrific Vicki Lewis is playing opposite me. It's just a 2-character musical, as you know. So
Fantastic.
it's gonna be fun to spend the summer in Laguna.
Laguna Playhouse is where I grew up.
Oh, that's so nice.
I have a really special place in my heart for that.
And Laguna's beautiful, but in the summer it's just it's thriving with all the artists and the arts festivals, and then next door to the Laguna Playhouse is the pageant of the Masters. So
Yes.
you can make a weekend of going there to Laguna and seeing so much stuff. And
Boy, spending the
wonderful.
summer in Laguna, you got a rough life.
yeah,
I
it's
tell you.
tough, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
tough. I'm looking forward to it. Vicky's
sure.
terrific. Vicky actually just played Mabel in Mac and Mabel with me, so we
Oh, okay.
we go way back to New York. We were in a show together years ago called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, written by Maury Yeston, who wrote Titanic, and Larry Gelbart, who wrote MASH and lots of other things, wrote the book. And
Fantastic.
it was kind of a big flop, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stood for the first 5 books of the Old Testament. So, and it was a musical. So, just
Okay.
didn't go over too big. But
That's a
Vicky and I did
specific
that.
audience.
Yeah, very specific.
Yeah.
As is Rent, I would think. Don't you think Rent has a specific demographic?
I think so. But I think it's universal in that the themes are very universal. The things that are still going on today. And it's such an important message that, but it does tend to have that stigma of being a younger demographic type show, I guess. I don't know. We'll get more into that
Definitely.
with Michael and Brett when we get to them.
Definitely.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's just about it for now.
Yeah, LagunaPlayhouse.com.
Mhm.
I don't think they're selling tickets yet, but we open July 9th. We close August 11th. It's a nice chunk of the summer.
It's good for
Yeah.
week run. That's great.
Yeah.
Check them out.
And then
LagunaPlayhouse.com.
Harvey Schmidt and Tom Jones wrote it, the guys that wrote The Fantastics. And
It's about marriage.
it's about a marriage, a couple that starts 1907 it starts, and it goes through their whole life, and they age to into the 50s. So they become, and we age in front of the audience, and it's about their ups and downs of a marriage. And
Are you
they
changing
cope.
makeup at intermission to make yourself look
we
older?
we
or
actually, I think we change it on stage.
Oh, wow.
We put wigs on and makeup, and it just kind of continues. It's interesting.
that sounds
Yeah.
really cool. I got to make sure I come out
Definitely.
for that. I haven't been to the Laguna Playhouse in years.
Now, do you have family down there as well still?
I
Or-
do. I
Nice.
have my sister and my mom and dad down there.
Nice.
So make it a family weekend. I'll bring
There
them
you
with
go.
me.
Wonderful.
not?
Wonderful.
Good stuff. Guys, if you have any questions for Michael Smith or Brett McMahon or Davis Gaines, make sure to give us a call at 323-247-7443, 323-247-7443. Find us on Facebook at La La Land Talk and Twitter at La La Land Talk. And we'll be back in just a moment on La La Land today with Brett and Davis Gaines
Woohoo!
on LA Talk Live.
125
Hello and welcome back to La La Land on LA Talk Live. I'm Brett Chapin.
And I'm Davis Gaines.
And we are talking today with the producer and one of the actors from Rent. Opening this next week at the Founder Center, www.therentproject.com. We have with us Michael Lee Smith,
Hello.
producer, and Brett McMahon, actor.
Howdy.
Woohoo! That's our studio audience.
Love it.
Yes.
Love the studio audience.
They're
Thank
under
you
the
guys.
table.
So I don't know. I know you guys. I've met you guys before. And before we even get to you, look at that. We have a caller already.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Hi. What's your name?
Hey, I don't know. I'm going to see if Mr. McMahon knows who this might be. What's up, Music Man?
Is this Bart Schneider?
Yeah,
Wow.
Mr. McMahon.
Oh my
It's Bart
gosh.
Schneider. How's things, man? It's good to see you're still doing your thing.
I am, sir. Good to hear your voice. This is the man who got me started in theater in middle school.
No way.
Wow.
He's
the one
He's
that-
the responsible one.
He's the one who inspired me.
Well done, Bart.
Oh, yeah. I'm the one that when I cast him as Harold Hill, he came up to me and said, Mr. Schneider, I don't sing. I think we proved him wrong. What do you think, guys?
I would say so.
Maybe.
I'm still doing it a little bit, just a little bit.
So, hey, man, the reason I got this number, I was over at your dad's farm because he's going to help us out with my daughter's great race for her 16th birthday, Brett.
She's 16? Holy
I know, right?
moly.
Haley's 16. Crazy, huh?
Well, go to the farm. Use all the acreage you want. Drive around.
I know we do a little bit.
Pet the chickens, pet the donkeys, do whatever you want.
We're going to have to talk about this farm. I had no idea about this.
I'm a hick. Mr. Schneider knows.
Yeah. Oh,
And he
heck
does drive
yeah.
a truck.
So, man, I'm fired up to hear how well you're doing. That is awesome. When is the show? It's next weekend?
It is next weekend. It is. It's a short run. I'm performing the 31st at 8 and the 1st at 8. So I'm gonna rock it. I'll be jumping around like a madman, singing my butt off, making you proud.
Oh, man, that would be sure fun to get down to. You know what? I don't even know if that's something that I have to say I can't make it down to. You just never know. If I make it down that way, you think I can get a ticket?
Yes, I will pay for it
Maybe.
personally.
TheRentProject.com.
TheRentProject.com.
Rentproject.com. Excellent. Hey, I'm sure you got other things to talk about and other people to deal with, but proud of you, man. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Next time we'll be talking about when you're going to make your first run on Broadway. What do you think?
Hey, yeah, I can talk to Mr. Gaines over here. We can get it set up.
Here you go.
I could see that happening in the
Bye,
future.
Have a good one, huh?
Thanks.
Take care.
Thanks for
Miss
calling.
ya.
Wow.
Jeez.
If you have any questions, make sure to give us a call like Bart did at 323-247-7443.
That was crazy.
Yeah, is that your original
Drama teacher? Theater?
Teacher?
That was
Yeah.
like one of my first drama teachers. He was the one that got me to love it.
Isn't that crazy? I had
Fantastic.
I had one of those too that just changed my life and just
It was crazy.
pointed me in that direction.
Because when puberty hits and your voice changes, as a guy, you kind
I'm
of
sorry,
go.
when what hits?
You kind of you go through this change and you feel really insecure, and it was right in the middle when we did Music Man, and I was crying and I was just really upset because my voice in a week went from Prince to something else, what it is now in 1 week. And it was terrifying, and Schneider was the one who got me through it, and he said, "You can do it. You can do it."
Good old Mr. Schneider.
You didn't?
Schneider,
Did
yeah.
you squeak on stage at all?
I
Or
think
it
maybe
was pretty
once.
smooth?
So
Okay.
I mean, but everybody has a hiccup every now and then. You
Yeah.
just gotta plow through it.
Harold Hill, love it.
Gosh, so long ago.
But let's talk about what you're doing now.
Yeah,
Out of the past into the future.
into the
Absolutely.
future.
Rent.
Right now, Rent is my life, and it has been for the past month or so, and it is a blast to say the least.
And you're playing Roger?
I'm playing
Sorry.
Mark,
Mark.
the dorky one.
And that's the roommates,
filmmaker.
right?
Yes.
And tell us about Mark.
Mark is Mark. He is the only one in the show who is kind of alone. He kind of just watches everybody do their thing. He's an observer. He doesn't really get too involved in anything because I think he's afraid of being hurt. And through the arc of the show and the songs and the relationships with Roger and everybody, he grows as a person. He realizes maybe he doesn't need his camera as much. Maybe he should participate in life, open himself up to love.
What a great character. What a great
Yeah.
opportunity to play that character.
And it's great to play that character. I've done the show before in school. I played Collins, and that's just a totally different mindset. So to play Mark this time, it's a little rougher, it's a little grungier. It's not the love story that it was with Angel, which is amazing. Our Collins and Angel are phenomenal. So please
Killer.
come check them out. John Devereaux and Justin. What's Justin's last name?
Alistair.
You got it. They're amazing. Check them out.
As
And-
are all of our cast
They're-
members.
yeah.
I find it interesting that you were cast as Collins, though, because the minute you walked in the room and I saw the gangly arms and everything,
I know, I'm so skinny.
I just and then you did your monologue. The way we did the audition process, everyone had to do a 1-minute monologue, and then before we even saw them sing, and then we heard him sing, and the singing was fantastic. The monologue was great, and I didn't get Roger or Collins. I think to a person on the audition team, we saw Mark.
And
So-
I'm happy about it. I love playing this part. That's great.
I definitely see Mark too when I look at you.
Is it the
A little
nose?
it's just the general look. I think you're a Mark.
I'm dorky.
What do you
A
think?
little bit.
Is it that attracted you to the role of Mark?
What attracted
Or to
me?
Rent in general.
Yeah.
Rent in general is just for anybody who's ever seen the show, it changes you when you see it, and if you ever participate in the show, it changes you as a person every time you do it, because you have to go through this journey with this family that you create on your own. It's not like blood family, but it's the family you create, and I think a lot of people in life can take a lesson from that. Sometimes family isn't always there for you for some of us, so you have to make your own family, and that is not a bad thing at all. And I think that's what kind of draws me into it, and I hope it draws everybody else into it, because it's an amazing show.
Great story. And for you, Michael, what made you pick Rent for Beyond the Stage Productions? This is,
Well, I mean, I'm one of those. I wouldn't call myself a rent head, although other people would. Shut up, Brett McMahon. I've seen the show live 7 times, 2 times in Vegas, a couple of different touring productions and whatnot.
Don't brag now.
Hush now. And what I really love about it is that Jonathan Larson took the best parts of the book and the kind of story arc that Puccini did in La Boheme, and he brought it up into the 20th century, and I came out in 1989 on the University of Michigan's campus in Ann Arbor, and I was really, really lucky at the age of 19 that I was around, I guess, culturally what you could call elder statesmen and stateswomen at that point. And I remember, 1993. I remember 1989 to 93, and I remember what this show was about, and it spoke so solidly to me the first time I saw it. So.
Nice. I think we have a caller, Brett.
Yeah.
Hello, caller. Oh, they hung up.
Oh, shoot. Call back.
Sad. Please call back, caller.
So, Michael, tell me
Yes.
about Beyond the Stage. And this is his first season?
First season, yeah.
And
First season.
You did Carmen.
We
and
did
this-
a version of Carmen on December 1st. We with the company that I've tried to create, and the kind of tribe, I guess you could say, that I'm trying to build around it, is we do theater in a slightly different way. In the execution of it. For Carmen, we focused on the dance aspects of the music. So rather than doing an actual stage production, we did a semi-stage production with 8, I think 10 dancers actually, and the classical singers were performing it as a concert with book, and then the dancers became somewhat the avatar, I guess you could say, of the real characters on there, and we connected the characters visually with color. So Jose, the character that I played, was wearing yellow, and the Jose dancer was in yellow as well, and it was really interesting. It was we were trying to explore a different way to present opera, and our choreographer Josue de la Vega did a brilliant job of combining every single style of dance that I've really ever seen. We did hip hop. He did hip hop cronk. He did ballet. He did just step and pop. It was incredible what he was able to do in such a short time. And then with this show, with Rent that we're doing, we're actually blurring the lines between theater and film. The Founders Center gives us the ability to present a 200-degree or so panoramic digital set. So as the show starts, it's staged traditionally. There's nothing different or crazy about the way the show is. But what we did was we added an element of digital projection such that when the show starts, the walls surrounding the theater will be the scenes from New York. So you'll see a skyline, and then it will get closer and closer and closer, somewhat like a film would, until you get into the loft where Mark begins the show. So the goal with doing that is we're in Los Angeles, so we are trying to blend the two kinds of arts at this point. And the idea is that it makes it easier for the audience member to suspend their disbelief that they're actually there and involved in the process. They can leave behind their daily life while they're sitting in the seat and really immerse themselves in theater, in the style that they would be in a movie.
Nice.
So
now you're a classically trained
I am.
singer, and
I am. I'm an opera
you
singer.
have a doctorate of music, or
I do. I'm one of those crazy, stupid
Dr.
academics.
Smith. So,
something like that.
Is it a coincidence that both your two inaugural shows were opera or based on opera?
Coincidental. Honestly, I've always been a secret musical theater lover. Phantom of the Opera is one of the first things that I saw. Hello, caller. And if I were going to choose a musical just based on anything, I probably would have chosen something like Carousel, something with, that could use bigger voices.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, we chose Rent because of how timely it is.
Okay. Cool.
We have a call on the line. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Are you there?
Okay. I think it's the same person that keeps calling. Call back or talk.
Exactly.
It's so funny because you've been talking about this whole 3D imaging thing for months, and
it's a little crazy.
We haven't gotten a chance to see it yet. I can't wait.
I saw a little bit of
Yeah,
it.
there are some of
did
the
you?
cast members that were there. They got a little bit of a taste of it. So, and it uses it's not just projected flat. You actually will see 3D images. If you go onto our Facebook page, Beyond the Stage on Facebook, you'll be able to see a couple of videos that actually show images coming out to you, because it's all done with perspective and light, right? So the idea is to make things feel and seem very, very live as the audience is sitting there. But we've also been very careful not to be overly obvious about it, I guess you could say. It's always meant to enhance, never to distract from the drama and the personal chosen family on stage that the actors are presenting. So we never want it to get in the way of that.
Don't worry, I'm distracting enough.
It's totally true.
I'll be jumping
what kind
around.
of musicians do you have? A piano? Is it what's it sung
It's going to be
to?
the Rent. It's the traditional band. It's the 5-piece band. 2 pianos, bass, guitar, and percussion.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And they sound amazing.
Yeah, they're really, really fantastic. So
The thing that I think is making us all feel really good, another thing that's making us feel good about the project is all the charitable organizations that it's benefiting. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's a little crazy. So I had this idea along with one of my other producers, Michael Brown, Mikey B, to try to make theater do something good aside from the beauty that it brings to the world, right? So if you talk about theater, you talk about entertainment. There's two aspects of it. There's the beauty and the art, and then there's the business aspect on the other side. And as an artist, you guys as well, I'm sure you think to yourself, the business of art is really terrible, right? The art of making art is putting it together and all that fantastic line. But I had the idea of trying to make the business of art actually do something good besides it. So a portion of our proceeds for every show that we do from Rent on forward will go towards good causes. For this particular show, we are benefiting 2 organizations.
Right.
Number one, the Manchester Labs Foundation Scholarship, that will serve low-income and at-risk youth and send them to college for art. The other is the Stigma Project, started by Chris Ritchie and Scott McPherson, which has tasked themselves with addressing the way we talk about HIV and AIDS in our language and in our culture. The idea of stigma is pervasive. It's socioeconomical, it's cultural, it's language, it's all sorts of different kinds of things. And what they do, especially in this age of Twitter, Facebook, and pithy communication, they try to help change they're advocating changing the way we talk about being HIV positive or HIV negative. As you know, HIV infection, whether you're positive or negative, is this generation's and this century's scarlet letter. If you're negative, you're seen as naturally virtuous, and if you're positive, you're seen as naturally filthy. That's just one of the stigmas that go along with that. And they have the goal of creating a status neutral world where we just talk about HIV and AIDS as the chronic condition that it is.
Mm-hmm.
And if we do that and we take away the stigma, then people aren't afraid of being tested anymore, especially the generation coming up. And if they're not afraid of being tested anymore, then through that, knowing your status and also the idea of treatment as prevention and healthcare as prevention, then we really could have an HIV and AIDS free generation.
Wonderful.
Soon.
Wonderful.
So, and then, the next project for me, I hope, will be benefiting homeless youth here in Los Angeles.
Great.
So,
Now, the Manchester Labs Foundation was created by Michael Brown,
Yes.
your executive producer, and you're also involved with that organization as well as an advisor or
Right.
something.
Mhm.
So, I was on the website last night, and it says the applications for students to apply for the scholarships and stuff will be coming summer of 2013. Do you know when that will happen?
That's what we're hoping. We have several events that are putting that forward, and Michael was actually unable to be here today. He was called away on some personal stuff, but keep a watch on the website. But those should be late this summer. So my guess is they will be 14-15 scholarships. So because the foundation was something he had been kicking around for a while, and then I mentioned, I would really like to, that this was a cause of mine, and that's how we kind of put together the Rent project with the scholarship foundation that he's doing. So it's been a lifelong dream of his to do, and it's definitely something that has been kicking around in my head for a long time.
Cool. Wonderful.
Anything in the chamber for Beyond the Stage after Rent?
I have
any
no
ideas?
idea. I have been asked that so much.
A vacation?
Even
Yeah.
a vacation and 1 week of several bourbon bottles. No, I think I've got some ideas for some smaller projects. I had been kicking around something for the Britain LA celebration of Benjamin Britten's 100 year anniversary of his birth. So that's possible in the fall. My friend Andrew Wright at Ragtag Entertainment in Las Vegas and I are kicking around a very big project, but there's nothing announced yet. I wish I could, but
Okay.
proper planning prevents blah 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 performance.
Keep your eye on BeyondTheStageProductions.com
Exactly.
for information on that.
Exactly.
We're talking with Michael Lee Smith and Brett McMahon of Beyond the Stage Productions Rent. If you have any questions for them, make sure to give us a call at 323-247-7443.
Tell us about the ticket prices.
Oh, very, very easy. One of the things we're blessed with the Founder Center is a reasonably large auditorium. So our ticket prices range from $15 to $50. But for La La Land listeners, I actually have a code for you for 2 for 1. It's
Wow, nice.
the number 2, DAY, the number 4, YOU.
So forget the code that we've been giving out every week because this is a bigger discount.
Yes, and it is available to all of your listeners from now through the 27th, the end of the day on the 27th. Also, if you cannot attend, since I know that this radio show goes all the way out for places like Detroit, my hometown, Detroit Tigers, who should have won the World Series. I'm sorry, San Francisco, but we blew it. I love you all. But there is a link on there to where you can donate if you're not going to be there, you're welcome to donate whatever you feel comfortable, $1, $5, $5,000. Notice how I went to the microphone for the 5,000. So if you can't be there, you're welcome to, we encourage you to donate whatever you can, because that will go towards the show and towards the charities. So
Wonderful.
It's going to be a great project. Huge 1,600 seat theater. I can't wait.
Yeah, and we're using just the main floor, and that's about 900 seats. So we have an outreach performance, a free outreach performance on Friday the 31st at 10 a.m. Right now we've got people from My Friend's Place here in Los Angeles coming. Fantastic homeless youth shelter, Boys and Girls Club that's non-religious and non-governmental affiliated. We've got people hopefully coming from LifeWorks. We've got a couple of schools coming. So it should be a really, really wonderful thing. So, and before every show, I'm so sorry. Before every show in the evening and the afternoon on the weekend, there will be 2 hours of outreach presentation from AIDS Project Los Angeles, AIDS Healthcare Foundation, Project Angel Food, AIDS Life Cycle, and the Stigma Project. So as our audience members come in, they'll be able to find out what services are here and available in Los Angeles and where they can volunteer to make a difference.
That's a great idea.
Love it.
Great idea.
So for each of you, what I'll start with you, Brett. What do you think you want audiences to take away from Rent when they're done? What do you want them to have in their head?
Take away from it. I just hope that they can connect with, if not one character, then all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that they take just that feeling of family and love that is just shot out of all the actors and the music that Jonathan Larson wrote, and just take it to heart and just apply it to their own lives, because you never know when you're going to, cease to exist. So treat every day, say I love you to the people that you love, and do the things you want to do while you're here, because
It's a big part of the message.
It's you got to have fun and you got to love hard.
Absolutely.
I was reading about Jonathan Larson said, boil the whole thing down to one sentence. I want to see what you guys think of this sentence that he wrote. Rent is about a community celebrating life in the face of death and AIDS at the turn of the century. Would you agree with that? Or would you add on?
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. But I would add another sentence to it. I think Rent is about your chosen family. It's about the people whom you choose to love and who choose to love you and stick by you no matter what. I mean, at the end of the day, Rent is about the relationships that you have and the mistakes that you make with them, and hopefully the forgiveness that you get for those mistakes. It's about the chosen family that you have, and in Los Angeles, how difficult it is. How difficult this city can be to connect in an age where strangers, landlords, lovers, as the line goes. I mean, we're all in our cars, we're all in Twitter, we're all in Facebook, we're all in the industry, we're all doing this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, hopefully we can gather around a home, a place, a something, a show, and be with our chosen family, even in this crazy city.
And to not be afraid of who you are. It's 2013. A lot of people in the past have done a lot for everyone. I mean, every race, every sexual orientation. We've come to a point in history where we don't have to be afraid of who we are anymore, and we can love who we want, whoever that may be, and just be open to pouring yourself out there and hoping that they can accept you for who you are. And if not, then you can find someone else. There's always someone that will love you.
Things are changing. Just look at the Boy Scouts this week.
Right?
Crazy.
I know, I saw that. Good
baby
for them.
steps.
Allowing gay youth. Yeah. Baby steps.
20 years from where we were in 1993 to where when they started kicking around this idea in workshops and whatnot to 2013. It's a little crazy where we're at right now. And I think that for those people who are impatient about where we are, they need to remember where we were, and it's a process of people learning, and sometimes that takes time, and more often than not, it's messy, and it's supposed to be.
I have faith. I don't have a doubt in the world that everyone will get along eventually. Just takes time.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Just takes time.
It's fascinating when you think of it. It really was not that long ago that blacks weren't allowed to use the same water fountain.
That's crazy.
It's
crazy.
Things are getting better, though.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. So for you guys, I think Rent was probably the show, in my opinion, that really brought a younger audience to musical theater. I think once it came out, because a lot of the things that were going on were Andrew Lloyd Webber at the time and that type of thing. And I think when nothing wrong with Andrew Lloyd Webber. Yes.
Yeah. Who's that?
Nothing against Andrew. But Rent really brought a younger audience and to musical theater and showed them that musical theater can be something that's interesting and vibrant and alive. What do you both think about the fact that happened, and do you think that that's still relevant today? Do you think it's still bringing youth to musical theater? Shows like Rent, not just Rent, but shows like Rent.
I think it definitely is. I think that when people get exposed to the bohemian idea that they talk about in the show, and I think that when they get the rebellion against tradition that is at the heart of the show, really speaks to a lot of young people in a lot of ways that, Pippin or Carousel or Cats or whatever, or Phantom of the Opera don't. However, having said that, I think unless Rent is done in a slightly updated way, and you look for new ways to present the relationships, then it will lose those young people. Like Michael Shepard is just freaking brilliant in the way
We
he
haven't talked
is
about him
looking
yet,
at
Michael Shepard.
Yeah, he's amazing, and he's kind of saved my bacon with this, and he's been a rock in this. So Michael Shepard, thank you. But he, from the start, when he took on this project, which was daunting at the time, wanted to make this show something that was original in the way he presented the characters. There's this moment that he found with Angel and Collins when they first meet, right? It's traditionally played very just off the cuff, and it's not a big deal, but it's where Angel admits that his body provides a comfortable home for the acquired immune deficiency syndrome. And Shepard found this amazing moment there of vulnerability for Angel that I've never seen in any of the productions before. And he has been brilliantly finding those moments of truth, vulnerability, and bravery and courage throughout this process. And I think that the rebellion that's at the heart of the show that Jonathan Larson really truly captured in his music, coupled with what Shepard is doing now in helping us bring original moments to the show, I think that will definitely keep attracting younger audiences, and I think it'll keep Rent relevant.
Because could Rent be dated at a certain
I think to a large extent it is. I mean, if you think about it's something or other at the end of the millennium, I mean, we're already past that, I mean, there are a lot of timely references in the show. AZT Break, which that was what was then. Now there's nothing like that. The beep 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 that used to stop everyone's heart in a restaurant when they heard it. Oh, great, there's another person, isn't something that happens anymore, right? So there's a lot of moments that that Shepard and I had to explain to, the 20 to 30-year-olds in the cast that just aren't part of the everyday experience in life, or the everyday experience in life as a positive person, if you happen to be so.
So when it's done in the future, 10 years, 20 years from now, do you play it as a period piece? Or?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I think that in another 20 or 30 years, I think that you could choose to do that. But it's hard to do changes to a show when the composer is memorialized in such a fashion. And I'm not saying that in a negative way whatsoever. I think Jonathan Larson's loss really solidified what people think about Rent and how it should be portrayed. And making changes is a difficult and a delicate process. So.
And I mean, musicals teach you different things as they
Exactly.
they progress too. Just like Carousel,
Mm-hmm.
when that first came out, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
a huge message about violence and
Abuse.
what a couple should be. And Rent is the same thing. It deals with HIV and relationships, and in 20 years it'll still have that message of chronic illnesses, dealing with the relationships, and the rebellious nature of the young people in the show. It helps them grow up a little bit.
Right.
Do you think that Jonathan, this is a strange thing to say, but do you think his death made the show more successful
We were just
in the
talking
long
about
run?
I honestly don't think so, and except in the way that it affected the actors. I think
Right.
that the actors always loved the show, but then with his loss, I think something was a fire was lit in them, and then they filled in whatever gaps may have been present in the composition, and I think that they were able to transcend the written word at that particular point and really raise the level of the show
Interesting.
to something absolutely amazing.
They did make some changes after his death.
They
as
did.
well.
They did. They made a few, and whatnot. But I think that I think that his death didn't really affect the public as much as it affected the actors and the way they
Interesting.
portrayed the show. I think it really heightened their performance of what they were doing, and then that energy and that love and that loss all at the same time that alchemized in the cast members really was communicated without any barriers whatsoever to the audience, and I think that's what did it.
Great. Good answer.
Thank you.
Good answer.
For those that aren't familiar with the history of Rent, the writer Jonathan Larson passed away shortly after the very first preview of Rent. As a matter of fact, that night. And it was just after a large New York Times article was being written about him. It was just after that interview, and the show is just an incredible show, regardless of I think the circumstances of his death.
Sure.
I think I personally think it would have been successful either way.
Yeah, I agree.
But fantastic show and an amazing message. And I think, honestly, even if there's a cure for AIDS tomorrow, I think the message of the show is still very, very relevant. It's about love. It's about family and community, and it's a very important show.
Definitely.
Can't wait to see it. Looking forward to it.
I can't wait to see it either.
I'm excited to show it.
There you go.
TheRentProject.com for any information on Rent. And if you have any questions, you have 7 minutes left at 323-247-7443. In closing, for both of you, what would you like to say to our audience about Rent?
Me first?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Speaking to an audience.
I just hope anybody that is listening in the immediate LA area or the next couple states, if you want to take a drive
Come on down.
or a bike ride, or you can, the AIDS life cycle, just ride your bike on down. Just come and check out the show. It's never the wrong idea to go check out live theater. I have never seen a show, good or bad, and have been regretful of seeing it. You can take anything away from live theater. It's not the same as TV. I love TV. It's great. But live theater, there's something about it. You can feel the heartbeat. You can hear them breathing, the audience breathing. It's a different experience. And if you haven't experienced it, now's the time.
I agree. One of my favorite artists and one of her most famous songs, Alita Adams, "Get Here If You Can." It's going to be absolutely amazing. The talent on stage is wicked. Our Maureen is absolutely amazing. Hello, caller. And the band is going to be absolutely amazing. It's just there's an embarrassment of talent on stage at this point.
Sorry to embarrass you.
Let's try one more time. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hey, what's your name?
Hey, I'm calling for Brett McMahon. My name is Rod Ingram, and I just want to say hello, and I can't wait to see his next play.
Exactly.
It's your fan club.
Hey, Rod.
Is that another one?
Hey, Brett, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good. You coming to see the show or what?
Hey, I'm going to try, if they don't postpone it. I was all set to come last time, and they postponed it, but I'm going to make a great effort this time and try to come and be in the front row.
Hey, the best things take time. We added a couple weeks, but it's just going to be better. It's going to be like butter.
I bet it will be. They had to pump some more money in it to afford to get you in there. I know.
Right? Just carpool with my dad. He'll tie you to the top of the truck.
I just talked to your dad, and he said you're going to be on the radio, and I laughed, and I finally got the composure to call you. So I want to say good luck to you, and I can't wait to see you in action.
Well, thank you, sir. Come and see it, or I'll kill you.
I will. You sound so proper. It's beautiful.
So
okay,
proper.
Brett,
Thank
care.
you.
Yeah, that's
good to hear your voice.
What happened to you?
Give us a call if you're a member of the Brett McMahon fan club.
Right?
Good Lord, I didn't know so many people were going to call.
Good stuff.
I think you can probably blame that on your dad.
Yes, he is my little
Your biggest fan?
PR man. Yeah.
Yep.
He cries at
Mine too.
everything.
My
He probably
dad, too.
didn't want me to say that, but he cries at every show.
Do we have another caller? Okay.
Fun.
Hello, caller number 2.
Hello, am I on?
Yes, you
yes,
are.
you are.
Here's my dad.
The father of the Brett McMahon fan club.
Hello, father.
You did
I had
not
to
just
call.
call
What
us say
the heck?
that.
I just want to make sure I've got the record for the most seats purchased for the Saturday night performance.
I think he has. How many do you have purchased? Like 20 or 50?
I don't know. I think we're up into the high teens, I think. Now, something
I
like that.
have no idea.
Hope you get a group rate.
I know, right? Hey, Dad, I'm sitting next to Mr. Gaines, the guy who
Come
played
on.
Phantom like a million times.
Oh, cool.
So,
All right.
Hey, Dad.
Well, you know what I did? I punched into the internet. I was able to somehow fumble through, and I'm watching the group, the four of you.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
awesome.
Well, I just wanted to say hi. You guys have plenty to do, and I'll talk. You guys won't get a word in, so I'm going to say bye and good luck, and thanks for having on, and thanks for doing what you're doing.
Hey, Mr. McMahon, thanks for
Nice
having
to meet
Brett.
you.
Thanks, Dad.
Pardon?
I said thanks
Thank
for
you.
having
You're
Brett. We appreciate that. Thanks for calling.
He's out of here.
Good stuff.
He's busy.
That's so nice. Now my dad has to call. Come on, Dad.
Come on.
Pick up the phone.
Come on, fathers.
We have been talking with Brett McMahon and Michael Lee Smith of Beyond the Stage Productions Rent, playing May 31st through June 2nd. For any information on that, make sure to visit beyondthestageproductions.com. It's a darn good show, and me and Brett are in it, and a bunch of other incredibly talented people. Our cast is ridiculously talented. Is this just
crazy?
I mean,
it's
like,
crazy.
It's unusual.
I say that all the time, but I'm not just saying that with this show. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't shoot my own horn. It's all you.
Our Maureen, her Over the Moon is
Over the Moon?
gonna blow you away. It really will. She is not an Idina Menzel clone, and I don't mean that to slight Idina, because I love I
We love
loves
you,
me some
Idina.
Idina. However, she's got this cute little bob. She's got this indie rocker chick quality to her voice. She's a brilliant actress,
And she knows the best Thai food restaurants.
Yeah. We have two amazing Joannes. Our Roger is this is his second time in the role, and he's really digging deep. I mean, I could go on about the entire cast, but it's really an embarrassment of talent on the stage to see. You know, I'm excited about it. I can't believe that I had a hand in trying to put this all together. So
Very exciting.
Well, we thank you for bringing us involved.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bringing us in and getting us involved.
And thank you for having me here today.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you for being
How
here,
much fun
Davis.
was that?
Good stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
What a piece of cake, right? You know?
Yeah, it's
We just
nice.
sit here, talk to our friends every
The only
week.
thing missing is the cocktails. I'm just saying.
Well,
next time.
Next time?
what time is it? Yeah.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
beer 30.
Something like that.
Michael Lee Smith and Brett McMahon, thank you again. Beyond the
you.
Stage
Thank you very much.
Productions, beyondthestageproductions.com, therentproject.com, May 31st through June 2nd.
DavisGaines.com.
DavisGaines.com.
Absolutely, Davis Gaines.
BrettMcMahon.com.
Do
There you
not
go.
forget Davis Gaines.
Yes. Davis Gaines in the Laguna Playhouse.
Yeah, this
in
summer.
I Do.
I do.
All
will-
summer. What are the dates on that again?
July 9th, August 11th.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
LagunaPlayhouse.com.
Definitely.
Great theater. Next week we are going to be having Anastasia Kuhn and Cindy Marie Jenkins of the Ruby Bessler Cabaret. It's a show at the Fringe this year. It's going to be fantastic. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and we're looking forward to talking to them. Cindy Marie is a good friend of the show, and she's joined us a couple times, and we're looking forward to it. And until then, I'm Brett Chapin.
I'm Davis Gaines.
Michael Smith.
Brett McMahon.
This is La La Land on LA Talk Live. Find us on Facebook at La La Land Talk, Twitter at twitter.com/La La Land Talk, and we'll see you at the top.
Have a great day.